When your cat headbutts you, do you actually know what that means? Yes, it looks sweet, but behind that simple little bump, there's something deeper that most people miss. It's one of the most emotionally intimate things your cat can do, and if you ignore it, which most owners do, you might miss what they're trying to tell you about trust, safety, and the way they see you. Let's start with what headbutting really means. 1. It's not random affection, it's a chosen greeting. Have you ever noticed your cat walk straight up to you while you're working, sitting on the couch, or just getting home and press their forehead into your hand, your leg, or even your face? Most people think it just means my cat wants attention. Here's what's actually happening. What behavior experts call head bunting is more than a request for petting. VCA explains that when cats headbutt, they're rubbing pheromones from scent glands on the head and face, and that this behavior is a sign of trust and social bonding, not just random affection. iCatCare also notes that cats use scent as a major form of communication, especially through glands in the skin and face. Here's why this matters. Your cat is not bumping into you by accident. Your cat is greeting you in one of the most cat-like ways possible, not with words, not with drama, with contact. Think about that for a second. To a cat, the head is a vulnerable place. So when they lead with it, that tells you something. They're not just asking for something, they're initiating connection. And by the way, if your cat ever suddenly stops doing this, don't brush it off. We'll get to what that can mean at the end. And it's something most owners wish they had understood sooner. 2. They're not just touching you, they're orienting to you. Ever notice your cat does this most when you first enter a room? Stand up or say something in that familiar voice they always seem to recognize. Most people assume the cat is just reacting to movement. Here's what's actually happening. A 2019 Oregon State University study found that cats form attachment bonds with their caregivers, and a 2021 PLOS ONE study found that cats mentally map their owner's location from the owner's voice, even when they can't see them. In other words, your cat is not just reacting to a body in the room. They're keeping track of you as a specific, meaningful presence. Here's why this matters. That headbutt often comes after your cat has already been monitoring your rhythm, your footsteps, your tone, the sound of you entering the kitchen, the shift of your weight when you sit down. So when they walk over and bump their head into you, that moment didn't start then. It started before that. It started with recognition. And here's where it gets even more powerful. A 2022 study reported by Springer found that cats respond differently when their own person speaks to them in a cat-directed tone, compared with a stranger or with speech directed elsewhere. That means your cat is not only noticing you, they are distinguishing how you sound when you're speaking to them. That makes the headbutt feel very different. It's not just contact, it's arrival, free. They're making you smell like safety. Have you ever wondered why your cat headbutts your hand, your chin, your phone, your sleeve, or the same side of your leg over and over? Most people think it's just a quirky habit. Here's what's actually happening. Cats have scent glands around the cheeks, forehead, and chin. When they bunt, they leave pheromones behind. VCA explains that this isn't aggressive marking. It's a social behavior tied to trust and belonging. iCatCare also notes that scent is one of the cat's main communication systems, especially in familiar relationships. Here's why this matters. Your cat is not only saying, "I know you," they're also saying, "I want you to smell like my world." Think about that for a second. Cats mark what matters to them most. Not everything, not everyone, what matters. So when your cat presses that soft forehead into you, they may be doing something incredibly intimate, turning you into familiar territory, making you part of the space where they feel safe. That tiny bump is an invisible bond. That's your cat taking you into their inner circle. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying. 4. This behavior begins earlier than you think. Have you ever wondered why headbutting feels so instinctive? Almost ancient, like your cat's body decides before their mind does. Most owners think it starts when the cat gets attached to the house. Here's what's actually happening. From the beginning of life, cats use scent and close physical contact to navigate safety. VCA notes that newborn kittens rely heavily on smell and can identify their mother through scent, even using scent to find milk. Oregon State researchers also suggest that cat-human attachment may reflect an adaptation of early offspring caretaker bonds. Here's why this matters. When your adult cat headbutts you, part of what you may be seeing is an old survival system being redirected toward a trusted human. Not because your cat thinks you are literally their mother, but because their body remembers what safety feels like: warmth nearby, a familiar smell, body contact without danger, a presence that regulates their stress instead of increasing it. What makes this even more meaningful is that domestic cats carried those ancient patterns into life with humans. So that little forehead press may be rooted in something much older than your living room. It may be rooted in kittenhood. 5. They do not do this for everyone. Why does your cat headbutt you but ignore a stranger or walk right past someone else in the house to bump you instead? Most people think all affection is equal. Here's what's actually happening. Cats are selective. They don't usually use this kind of scent exchange and close facial contact with just anyone. The bond matters. The familiarity matters. The predictability matters. Research on attachment, voice recognition, and cat-directed speech all points in the same direction. Cats respond differently to known humans than to unfamiliar ones, and those repeated everyday interactions shape the relationship. Here's why this matters. Your cat didn't choose you because you were the loudest person in the room. They chose you because you became readable, the one whose movements make sense, the one whose touch feels familiar, the one who doesn't force closeness, the one whose presence doesn't cost them anything. Think about that for a second. A headbutt is not just friendliness, it's selectivity. Your cat is not giving you generic affection. They are giving you access. And cats do not hand that out lightly. 6. This is what most owners never realize. Have you ever had your cat headbutt you and then immediately stay there for a moment, leaning into you, closing their eyes, or letting their face rest against your hand? Most people see affection and stop there. Here's what's actually happening. This is what most owners never realize. A cat that bumps you is doing more than saying hello. They are choosing closeness with one of the most sensory, exposed parts of their body. And that matters because cats are wired to stay aware, to stay controlled, to stay slightly guarded. But in that moment, your cat is softening all of that. They're leaning in, they're lowering their guard, they're choosing connection over caution. And here's where it gets even more powerful. University of Sussex research on slow blinking showed that cats use soft facial signals in positive communication with humans and are more likely to approach a person after that kind of calm exchange. So when your cat pairs a headbutt with a softened face, slow blink, or relaxed lean, the message is even deeper. This is not only recognition, it is emotional openness. Remember earlier when I said this behavior could mean something far deeper? This is what I was talking about. Your cat is putting the vulnerable front of their body into your space and expecting safety back. That's not just affection. That's trust with no armor on. So the next time your cat headbutts you and lingers there, remember, they may be showing one of the purest forms of feline trust there is. Not excitement, not neediness, safety. 7. If it suddenly stops, pay attention. Now let's come back to that earlier warning. What if your cat used to greet you this way, all the time, and then one day they just stop? Most people assume the bond faded. Here's what's actually happening. Sometimes the relationship changed, but sometimes your cat is stressed, uncomfortable, or not feeling well. VCA notes that changes in rubbing and head-butting behavior can sometimes reflect changes in comfort or health, especially when other behavior changes show up too. Here's why this matters. A headbutt is often part of your cat's stable relationship pattern with you. So if that ritual disappears, especially along with hiding, eating less, irritability, unusual sleep spots, or reduced greeting behavior, don't dismiss it as attitude. This is where most owners get it wrong. They think distance means disinterest. Sometimes distance means something hurts. Not with panic, with care. Watch the pattern. Notice the change. Respect what it may be telling you. Don't ignore it. So when your cat headbutts you, do you actually know what that means? It means they may be doing far more than showing affection. They may be recognizing you, tracking you, marking you with familiarity, and choosing to make you part of the safest part of their world. That's not a quirky habit. That's trust, belonging, and emotional safety. And when they press that small forehead into you, They're doing something that reaches back into instinct, memory and bond all at once. That's not just affection, that's your cat choosing you over their own caution. And that headbutt, it was never small to them, and it shouldn't be small to you either.